Hello and welcome to the Colorado River RV Resort in Columbus, Texas. Right between Austin and Houston, just a few miles off of I-10 on Highway 71, is the Thousand Trails Colorado River RV Resort. About an hour from either big city, this campground is kind of in the middle of nowhere. If you're the type of RVer that just uses their RV as a hotel room substitute and wants to go explore the city every day, then this place may not be right for you. But if you enjoy a little seclusion, some peace and quiet, and some nature, and still want to be able to hit either Austin or Houston within about an hour drive, then it might be great for you. It's really easy to get to. Right off of I-10, you hit 71, and then from there you just go down one little, what they call farm road, I guess, and it's right about a mile off the road. The closest town is Columbus, and it's going to have all your essentials there. They have some little shops. There's, of course, gas, a Walmart, a hospital, and even a brewery. So what else do you need? Like the last Thousand Trails campground we reviewed, this is going to have a variety of different lots you can choose from. Different sections of the campground provide different things. We were in the section that was closest to the entrance, and that was what I would think would be the sort of original sites. They're dirt lots, but they have some nice tree cover and a little bit of privacy if there's not a bunch of neighbors around you. There's another group of lots right down by the river that also has some nice shade. And then there's a new section that was just put in, absolutely giant, much cleaner lots, but no shade and much less privacy. Here, not all sites are gonna be full hookup. They do have some, but a lot of them have just power and water. So be strategic when you're driving around. Make sure you check for all the amenities that you want, because the new section will have it, some of the old section will have it, but not all of the lots. For instance, our lot was the last one on the road that had sewer, so we had no neighbors on any one side, which was nice because none of those had sewer, so everyone was choosing the ones with sewer, obviously, before the other ones get filled in. The lots weren't terribly spacious. We were pretty close to our neighbors, and we did have enough space to fit our truck, of course, but not any really additional vehicles. Normally there would be fires allowed, but unfortunately we were there during a burn ban. I think we were there for 2 weeks, and there was no rain, and there hadn't been rain for a while, so the danger was just way too high to have have open flames. The staff was pretty nice. We interact with them when we pick up packages and things like that. But one thing I did find interesting is that they don't have a staffed front gate. They do have a security gate where you have to type in a code, and that code revolves. I think it's every week it revolves to a new number, but they don't have a person up front checking for guests. The main building looked like it was in pretty good shape and pretty well kept. Some of the other buildings, not so much. The gatehouse has certainly seen better days, as well as the pool house. But where it matters, it was pretty well maintained. So in the comfort stations, for instance, the restrooms and the showers were all very well kept and clean the whole time we were there. The laundry room was also clean and easily accessible. And the dumpster, which is also located centrally, was always emptied regularly, and there was never any like crazy trash laying around or anything like that. Noise level wasn't too bad. We did have a neighbor with a yappy dog, but that can happen anywhere. You could hear the train on occasion. The train was pretty far off though, wasn't too bad. And there is a sort of like a country club next door where they were doing some shooting in the back. But if that stuff doesn't bother you, then it's no big deal. It certainly didn't bother me, but I did notice it. As far as things to do, they had a few things. They of course have a pool, and that was in pretty good condition. The jacuzzi, not so much. It's kind of a weird little room with a hot tub thrown in it. And all the chairs and tables surrounding the pool were pretty dated. Next to the pool, you'll find a little pickleball court, and there was a little basketball court as well. Right down the road from there, you're going to find a putt-putt course and this really bizarre area where they sort of just, it looked like maybe it was old tennis courts or an old basketball court, where they just put a bunch of picnic tables on there, I guess for event hosting. Just sort of a bizarre thing. There's some speakers up on some pillars and a bunch of picnic tables. The campground is bordered on one side by the Colorado River, and in the back you'll actually find a boat ramp. So if you do have a boat with you, that is kind of a cool feature. As far as food options, for the most part, you're going to have to go into town for just about anything. This particular campground did not have a camp store at all. They did have one night, which was Taco Thursday. Maybe they didn't get the memo. But other than that, you're on your own. If you want anything, you're going to have to head out. If you just need something quick, there is a gas station right at the 71 and the road that you turn off on to get to the campground. So if you just need some essentials, it's not terribly far away, just a mile or two. If you're trying to live a healthy lifestyle, you can certainly make it work here. I didn't see an exercise facility, but on the website it says that they have one. Not sure where it would have been. I thought I went everywhere, but there's plenty of room to run. They do have a couple trails in the campground if you don't want to just run directly in front of campsites. One that sort of circles around the outside and another one in the back. Both of them were nice and pretty well manicured. They were cutting it with a tractor actually the day that we left. and I didn't even think it needed to get done. So they seem to care about those and keep those running. They also have cabins available for rent. They looked really nice and well maintained, and almost always surrounded by deer. As far as signal strength, we ended up using AT&T the entire time. That seemed to be the front runner in speed and reliability. We tried the Wi-Fi. We found it incredibly spotty. When it worked, it was fine, but it would just sort of cut out, and then you would randomly just not have internet. So as far as working on site, you may want to stick to your cell signal for reliability. So let's talk about a couple tips for staying at this campground. First and foremost, if you like nature, this might be the one for you, especially if you like deer. Every single morning, and sometimes straight into the afternoon, there would be herds of deer just kind of hanging out in the field. They've clearly gotten used to the presence of humans, as they would just sort of walk around and mind their business while you go out and do your thing. This was kind of fun. Right near our lot, they would just kind of go sit in front of the camper and hang out, and it was just kind of like having a little pet there that you didn't have to deal with. And other than the little bit of noise I mentioned earlier, it is incredibly peaceful there. There's not a lot going on. You're really stuck out there. There's a ranch on 2 sides, I believe, maybe even 3 sides, and then the river on the other, and then a farm beyond that. So there's just really not a whole lot going on to make any noise or disturbance. Another would be if you plan on doing laundry here, they use what's called CSC Pay Mobile, which is just a little program where you load money onto your phone, and then you just scan the machine that you want to turn on, and it turns it on remotely. It's actually very handy. I was kind of skeptical using this, but it's super efficient, super easy to load with like Apple Pay, for instance, and then just go do what you need to do, no dealing with change. If you do have change though, they also accept it, which is perfectly fine, but using the Pay Mobile app was crazy easy. Other than that, I would say just sort of be prepared for just a lack of general amenities. There's a few things to do. You can, accept mail and things at the front office, but that's pretty much it. For any food, supplies, or entertainment, you're gonna have to leave. And as I said earlier, this is a Thousand Trails campground, so you might sort of be prompted or asked to look at membership options. All right, let's take a look at our ratings. Let's talk price. So of course, if you are a Thousand Trails member, then this is a no-brainer, right? It's not gonna cost you anything. But I went ahead and looked online and just went to fictionally book a couple nights, and the rates are not great for everything that it has to offer. The RV sites start at $55 and go up to about $80 per night, and the cabins start at almost $200 a night. For its location and the amenities that are available, this seems exceptionally high to me. So I'm gonna go for a 2 out of 5 on price. The ease of access is fine, although it is sort of located in an area that I'm not a huge fan of. Some people really like that it's kind of out in between cities and not close by to all the hubbub. The only weird thing getting in and out of this campground is that the small roads in Texas are like exceptionally high speed. So the road that this is off of is 75 miles an hour, and you have to turn onto it with an RV. So that might sort of sketch people out. They might not enjoy that. So for that, I'm gonna go with a 3 out of 5 stars. For general amenities, I did see a sign that they, one of those pardon our dust signs, because they're gonna be working on improving the facilities, but as it stands right now, it's not that great. Everything just looks a little tired and under-maintained. So for general amenities, I think I'm stretching at a 3 out of 5. As far as entertainment, this is actually gonna be the worst one. I'm gonna be generous and give it 2 stars. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, then it's fine. If you like the bicycle or hike or you do water sports, that might be one thing. But if you like the general idea of entertainment in America, then it's gotta go with a 2. To do any sort of fun shopping or entertainment or go see a movie or whatever the case may be, you're driving an hour in one of 2 directions to accomplish that. Overall, I think we're gonna go with a 3 out of 5. I don't think this was a bad place to stay. It's just not, specifically for me or the type of person that I am. But I can't deny that sort of being in nature was nice for a little while, and being able to kind of just relax and be out of all the sort of craziness that cities bring with it and just get away for a while. Next up, we're heading back to Florida, so you'll be seeing a review on the Blackwater River State Park pretty soon here, and that's pretty much it. So I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, please go ahead, scroll down, click that like button. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next one.